So we're back with our 2-barrel set. The receiver's already been shaped. Now we're just reshaping and doing some smaller things. The forearm irons, since it's a 2-barrel set, we've got 2 forearm irons. On a standard Sterlingworth, the forearm iron comes with a square edge on it. It just doesn't look as nice as it could. So what we're going to do is reshape it to have a nice curve to it. This doesn't add any strength. This doesn't do anything other than just appeal to the aesthetics of it. So we're going to end up shaping it so it has a curve all the way around. Graded Foxes have a curved forend iron like this. So we're going to do the same thing, similar on this custom Fox. Alright, so whenever I shape these, I don't use a template. All I really do is try to keep the width right here to be the thinnest point, and I try to leave the top a little bit thicker and the bottom just a little bit thicker than our thinnest point. I don't want a true curve to match this, because then I feel everything gets far too thin. So I leave it a little thicker up here, a little thicker down here. If you see real close here, my thinnest point is right in the middle. It's a little bit wider here, and it's a little bit wider up here. So it's not a true curve. It's, I guess it's more of an ellipse. So I don't lay anything out. I just truly start cutting, and I kind of eyeball it. I kind of measure a little bit, but I just kind of go until it starts to look nice, and then I stop. So I'm going to do a little bit of checking. Just as a note, whenever you're doing this, it's smart to use a file with a safe edge. That way you don't hit the tang on your forearm iron, because I've just a little bit on this corner, I've nicked it. So I'm going to have to go in and weld that up and file that back down flat. But what I wanted to do was check and see where I'm at with all my widths. I'm about 400 or 140 thousandths right here in the middle. As I taper out, I just mostly want to see that I have a nice gradual taper. I don't really care about the widths on any of them, but with it being a 2-barrel set, I do need to make sure that the width at the top and the bottom is at least close to the other forearm iron. So I'm going to measure it below the barrel beads, and I'm about 430 thousandths on that one, and I'm at about 430 thousandths on this one. So I guess I've eyeballed them pretty close. My width down at the bottom, looking at like 320 thousandths on the first one, and we're about 330 thousandths. I'm going to leave that there. So all I'm really looking for is a nice gradual curve throughout. Now I'm going to shape down this size, so I'll file everything this way, and that'll make it so I can match the curve all the way around from here to this side, and then I'll file this side up. So we'll set it up this way, and now I can file. I'm not really worried about having a safe edge. I've got a very coarse file. I'm just going to file all the way across this surface. I'm filing across a fairly large surface, but I want to curve all of this all the way across so it's evenly, so it's not a wavy curve, I guess, across this surface. So I've got it set up the way I wanted. I've got my biggest file, coarsest file in the shop. It's the one I like to use for this. So I can truly hog off material quick. So this shouldn't take too long of filing, but I always thought about setting one of these up and doing it in a mill, but I don't really know how I would get everything curved the right way with the mill. I'm sure on a turntable I could do it, but sometimes it takes too long to set things up when you can just do them like this by hand, and they come out just as nice. I see we're touching all the way across on the other side. We'll get a smoother cut, maybe a little bit of a smaller file, and finish it out so we have maybe a little bit of a nicer finish. But yeah, with that huge file, we can hog off material and go pretty fast. And we have what I think is going to be a pretty nice even curve all the way across. I don't want it to be, low in one spot and high in the other. I don't want it to be a wavy surface across here. I want it to be a nice even curve. So now I think we've got the underside. We'll set this up and just round off the top the exact same way we rounded off this side. So I've shaped the bottom one to match the top. We've got a nice curve going throughout. They're as close as they truly need to be. Yeah, we shaped them up. They have a nice curve. I need to do a little bit of welding to touch up the tang. But outside of that, our next step is to set up on the mill, machine the inletting for the tang, and start inletting the forearm iron, and then we will go on to fitting the forearm iron to, or the new forearm to the barrels. So we're moving forward.